Hi, Woolly. How are you?
Hi, Lisa. I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Great to be talking to you. It's been a while. We haven't seen each other in person for when was it? Last time Edinburgh Festival.
Oh, yeah, you were there briefly. Yes.
Yeah, I made you accept a hug. I remember. Do you remember hugs?
Yes. Those. Yeah.
Yes. How have things been for you guys where you are?
Um, we're all right. This is my studio. Welcome to my studio. I'm here in Italy, where it's
Yes.
really warm today. It's really warm. It's about 28 degrees out there or something, maybe a bit
Oh,
more.
wow. I don't think you've no air conditioning.
No, I do have an aircon unit, but it's not in place yet because it's not hot enough for that. But no, it's a nice metal kind of dome ceiling vehicle, my studio, and it's warm, but it's nice.
You're gonna have to have words with your boss.
Yeah, I am.
About your working environment. I always keep saying my boss is a slave driver as well. Like, so yeah. So we are taking part in iKnit7 this week, just having a chat with us because I am featuring one of your hats as part of the offers that we have. So this is, we can talk about that actually in a little while. And so tell us a little bit more. You at the moment you were saying you kind of have like a flow to your year. You tend to have your patterns, a new collection releasing, is it in September?
Yes.
Yes, so September is when we get to see more exciting woolly designs.
That's when the woolly hat season kind of kicks off. Yes.
Woolly hat season, yes. Mind you, in Ireland it's woolly. I was wearing a very warm one of your designs on the beach this morning, actually. Circled that has the I'll share a picture of that as well. But because it's a double brim, it is blowing a gale today.
I bet it is. Yeah, it's not 28 degrees and really sunny there, is it?
Yeah. If you ever need a reprieve, you can get a flight. So what is in store in September? Can you give us any little hints or
do you want a little sneaky peek?
I do, of course. It was very Irish, but I do, of course, yes.
Oh man. So the only other people that have seen these are my Patreon supporters, so you are definitely getting a proper sneaky peek. Okay, and they're not all finished yet. But and this might be a shock to some people, but they're not sideways.
I'm gone.
And if everybody's is familiar with my opinions on stranded knitting, these are stranded.
Whoa. Okay, what happened to Woolly, and can you give her back to us, please? No, that's so gorgeous. I don't care. Let me see.
Let me just
okay, sneaky peek. Oh wow. I do. Yeah, yes, because what I thought was sort of initially mosaic when I get closer up.
No, I'm playing with optical illusions. Graphic line and optical illusions. I had this idea. I was thinking, fabric manipulation is my thing, which is why I like working sideways, because then stitches they take on different properties when you turn them sideways, and I like things that, like with the short row colour work, the colour work is actually created by the fabric changing. It's not just by knitting a different colour stitch. The whole fabric moves with it, and I really like that. And I was thinking, well, there were some things I wanted to explore, like with the optical illusions, and a lot of the other techniques that I like to use weren't working with it, because it's very graphic, a very solid line. You need that to get a good effect in the So I thought, well, if I can't manipulate the fabric, let's do it on the surface and do it a different way. So that's when I thought, well, this is where I started playing with stranded knitting to get the effects. And I'm not enjoying the knitting process so much, because it's
confession.
Yeah, no. I mean, I really do enjoy working sideways and working with short row colour work, because you see it all growing and the fabric's moving, and it's not doing that. However, I'm really enjoying designing it, and I'm really liking the end results. So I've got 4 done so far.
They are phenomenal. Very, very cool. Oh wow.
And I'm using to make them perfect, so there's no jog, because obviously I'm working around with strand knitting, so I'm using a few techniques to make sure there's no jog, so that the pattern is truly an optical illusion, and there's no break in it. But then you get some really nice.
All the crowns, yeah, that's it. You have to. Didn't you do a series where it was just all on Instagram, where it was the crowns?
I'm still
the hats tucked in.
I'm still doing it. It's a weekly feature, Woolly Haturday, where I just kind of feature a different. I mean, there's a weekly promo that goes with it, so the featured hat you get a discount from it. But yeah, it's looking at the hat from the crown perspective only, and I've been really enjoying doing it because I know what the crown is there, but a lot of people just kind of are used to seeing the photo of the hat as it is, and suddenly going, "Oh, there's that at the top." It's really nice.
Yeah, yeah. So you don't tend to take a picture of somebody where, like, from the top down, where you sort of.
I do. I take pictures of it modelled on the back, but when it's stretched out as a circle, then that's a whole other thing. Can you hear my dog barking? We've got a pub here.
I'm waiting for mine to kick off now as well. This is the reality. It's all good.
Yeah, it's like, you're lucky the cats haven't come in and jumped on and stuff over it. So
then we get to play the Zoom bingo, where we're like, cat appeared, tick.
Yeah. So yeah, the Woolly Haturday thing is like looking at the crown as a circle just on its own, and it gives you a whole other perspective.
It really is, yeah. They're art. They're absolutely. When you see that, I'd love you to do a big collage one day of, like, we can just put them all together. When I don't think you'll ever reach the end of the series, do you? Because quite a back catalogue of hats to feature.
Right, just a few. I think it's about 300, nearly 400 something, maybe. Thereabouts.
Well, they're in the region of The girl has designed a few hats. Well, including, actually, this is not going to come up very well, but let's see if you can see that. When you talk about the Circle 4, and you're talking about the seamless join in the new collection as well, and this is what absolutely just captivated me about this design. I will confess, Jackie knit it, but she then, and this is a sideways knit, okay? So all of your stitches are passed here and work around, and then there's this extremely clever grafting technique that makes the hat, all of these slip stitches just continue on in this continuous spiral all the way down. So at that point she went, "Here you go, Lisa. You do this bit." And I loved it. It took me a while, but unlocking, you had your the PDF video tutorials, and having both, the fact that you offer both of those as well, so because people learn differently, and one will speak to the other, but actually using them in conjunction worked really well, and eventually it clicked how to do it, and it's magical. So I can't wait to see how you've done that in the optical illusion.
No, this is actually simpler. It's simpler in these. But no, that's very satisfying when that spiral comes together after the graft, isn't it? I remember when the penny dropped on how to do that, to make the lines slowly move, and how to make it fit with the crown shaping. It's easy in the body, but when you're working sideways and you've got all those short rows involved, then it becomes a little bit. But yeah, it's very satisfying when it comes together, that one.
It really is, yeah. And so I've said this, it's almost a catchphrase anytime I talk about you, but it's that anytime you knit a Woolly Wormhead hat, you're going to learn something new and you're going to have fun doing it. So just, if you haven't yet made one, go on out there and get one of the fabulous patterns. This one is Circle 4, and it features Townhouse Yarns Camden Tweed, which we have on a 15% discount.
Lovely to work with.
Really nice. Little Irish flair in there as well. So, so that's, and you can make two of these hats out of one skein.
Absolutely, because it's one skein of sock weight goes a long way, so you can get two hats out of it. And there's some with, I've got some of the others. Shall I show you one of the other circled hats as well?
Yes.
This one is this one's Circle 2. I don't know if you can see it. All those concentric.
Yes, fabulous.
So they could do the spiral one in Circle 4, and then the Circle 2, and you get these really nice, just really pleasing concentric, perfectly no problem with the join, perfectly formed concentric rings at the crown. That's another one that's really satisfying to work with.
That's it. It's when you cast it off and go, it's all Woolly's cleverness, but you can kind of claim a little bit of it for yourself afterwards.
You've made it. You've done it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But it is, the word satisfying is definitely what would apply very appropriately to this. So.
No, when you, I know for a lot of designers, going to shows or going to yarn shops and teaching is a big part of their job. and I know that that's missing, and a lot of designers and teachers are. That's had a big impact on them, I know. And I've been talking to a few people, and they're finding it really hard. When I stopped going to shows and teaching, because I probably wasn't doing as much teaching as some other designers are doing, but when I stopped, I started to kind of slowly move towards doing online classes. I've not launched them yet, but that's what I've been doing, because teaching is like, you know, it's an important thing, and I enjoy it, and like most of the teachers probably wouldn't be going out there and doing it if they didn't enjoy it so much either. And people want to learn stuff, so online classes is
it's the way forward, definitely, you know, and you have a little bit of a head start on that because you've been working on it in the background.
Yeah.
And yeah, so, but it does give you, and I think it's a natural progression that you've gone into, because your patterns have always been so extremely well supported by like obviously photo tutorials initially, and then as the capabilities were made available, followed up by videos, even short snippets that you do on Instagram and everything. And it's that sort of full service that you offer that I think allows more people to connect with your patterns, more people like to become like really avid fans, and you've got a huge following there, you know. But it's because of that, the content, and almost the upfront pattern support that you give, rather than the after purchase, you know.
I think that plays a big part, being able to kind of build a whole thing. It's not just one pattern with a set of instructions, you've got all the other little bits that go with it.
And there's a lot of work that goes into that, it really is. But I suppose the time and energy that would have been spent going to shows
exactly, it's been a shift. And I think once I'd stopped going and teaching during the shows and had that shift, I found it easier to do more video production and do more tutorials and put my energy in that direction. Yeah, definitely.
Very good. So if anybody wanted to start setting up doing tutorials at home, have you got one top piece of equipment that you would recommend for someone on a limited budget maybe?
Right, one thing that I found really, really handy is to either use a magic arm or a scissor stand. I've got, and this is what we're recording on here at the moment, is a microphone scissor arm. And so basically it's a device that concertinas, you can move it backwards and forwards, and it costs like €10 or something on Amazon. Right. And you just kind of like attach it to the table, and it's there, and you've instantly got a nice front-facing camera that stays where it is. You haven't got to worry about balancing or anything. And then if you wanted to, you could get another one and have one so you can go overhead, so you can switch between different recording modes really, really easily, and do it all on your phone. It's a great way to start.
Yeah, I think I've been watching a few video tutorials recently as well, and that thing where you've got that interaction of somebody talking to you, and then it's edited through where then they've got the focus on their hands. It brings you in, it engages you more, I think, than just having the sort of disembodied voice showing you their hands.
Because the one thing that's different about teaching online is that you don't have that personal interaction. So where I might go around in a classroom and people are looking at the samples personally, or I go around and demonstrate a technique, then you need to demonstrate that in video. So having an overhead camera where you can zoom in and you can show the samples and open them up, rather than me sitting there going, hi, look at this, you can't see it so well, whereas a nice overhead camera works, and you can get close in, you can show the details, and it doesn't take that much to get going on that. As I say, these scissor arms are just, I've got them dotted around the studio, so I can just plug my phone in and record stuff. It's great, and then they're really inexpensive to go in with.
I might get a link off you. Everybody, you have your own newsletter, and we get everybody to sign up to that so they can find out about your new releases and when the new collection comes up. So it's woollywormhead.com.
Yeah, that is absolutely woollywormhead, OOLL.
Yeah, I get that with woolen for the festival as well. It's just to kind of go, spell it out. But it's woollywormhead.com. And one of these days, I will convince you to come back to Ireland and meet my kids again.
Yes.
You've only met the first.
Oh God, yeah, they're going to grow up so much, aren't they?
Yeah. I have a picture of you holding, Oisin wearing one of your hats at a workshop, and you holding him. And he was a baby then, and he's 6 now. Yeah. Time is racing on, but one of these days, we will see you again.
We will. I'll come over.
Yeah.
One of my favourite places to come and visit.
Oh yeah, and I'm not going to go to Italy. Actually, hang on. I'm getting the short end of this deal.
We'll come over here.
Yes, definitely. So thank you very, very much for coming on today and for taking part in.
Thank you for having me. Lovely chat.
So delighted to catch up with you. So, and we'll see you again.
All right. Thanks, then. Bye-bye.
Bye.